Test, test. What's up, broski?
How's it going, man? Oh, got some people popping in.
Dude, that video triggered me so bad. So bad. And I just want to be able to ask questions about it. Wow.
Yeah, it was, I don't want to say shocking because, I mean, we've seen this stuff before, so it's not...
Well, did you see any of the ones that I sent you after that? Like the one where the guy was walking home and then they asked to search him and then attacked him?
No, I didn't get a chance to see any of the ones that you sent me.
All right.
I was busy putting out my video today, my April Fool's video today, which actually wasn't a joke, but they had rolled up on these two old guys. One had lived at the house. He said that they were evicted, but the landlord hadn't served any eviction paperwork on them.
Okay.
But anyway, they were cleaning up, his yard or whatever, and moving some of his stuff out. And these cops roll up on him, and they target his brother, who was in from out of state to help this guy.
Yeah.
He's got a prosthetic leg and everything, and the cops are like, "Hey, do you got an ID?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I got an ID, but I haven't done anything wrong." And
right,
next thing you know, he's on the ground, his legs, off, and they're saying they're arresting him for obstruction because he wouldn't give his ID, and he's like, "I didn't have to give my ID." It's just ridiculous.
So I sent you some videos, and I'll just sum it up real quick. You may have seen over the past couple days a tremendous amount of channels have highlighted this training video coming out of New Jersey, right? Where the guys up there, feedback guys.
Someone's still on YouTube.
It should be off now.
Test. Yeah. So where it's the street cop seminar and they trained 38,000 cops.
Yeah, I got that video up. Jersey Watcher was the first to post it, and I posted it right after him. And then, it took off across the internet. I think I just saw that the civil rights guy had done a video on it a couple hours ago, and Brian, I know from Here's the Deal, has done a video about it.
Yes.
Clip, where'd you go, buddy? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people picked up on it and started posting it across the internet. And what's crazy about that is they're fixing to have a conference down here in Orlando. Those same characters, they're playing. Because I looked up their website. They do trainings not just on a conference level. I think they do a conference once a year, but they do individual lessons all over the U.S. So if you go to their website, you could check out their training, and they fly these training guys all over the country to go and preach that BS. So like you said, they've trained a lot of cops.
38,000.
Yeah. So when we look and we see these videos coming out, we can see where the training's coming from.
I saw the one-legged guy too today, Roland.
I might have been.
I saw the one-legged guy today from your vid where the guy lost his leg, and they still was giving him a hard time.
You know what, Joe? I thank God they didn't beat him with his own leg. You know what I mean? I could see some shit like that going down, because, they're holding his leg and he won't get in the truck or something, and the guy's trying to beat him, to get him in the truck, and he's hitting him with his own leg or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't put nothing past these guys at this point, man. They shock me every day.
Yeah, that's some made for TV drama shit right there.
And that shit you're talking about, 10th, I saw that too, where the guys are training just horrible shit, fuck the guys with the cameras, and I don't know, it was horrible.
Well, that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight, is because this whole time, my brain literally exploded. I'm sitting here doing 11-hour shifts, right? And I'm about an hour and a half, 2 hours into my shift, and I'm like, I see this video that Rogue put out, and it made me so angry that I almost called in sick to work because I was so angry. And so all these years we're hearing the police need more training. The police need more training. And now my brain's going, okay, so that's the type of training that they're getting.
Yeah, we pay.
And then I don't remember if he said it was almost $700 per person or $7,000 per person. The civil rights lawyer. I lost track of the number, but
it's 700.
That's a ton.
Yeah. So, but like, how that? I'm trying not to swear because I'm on your channel, but how are we gonna ever fix society if people like that aren't held accountable? Like, and I don't even mean like, I want to know exactly how this was being paid for. Because are we saying that like the chief signed up 300 officers to go to this conference? Because if that's the case, that chief needs to go to jail because he implemented training that was illegal. Like, did you see the response to it? They're like, and then they taught them to sexually assault people on the side of the road.
Yeah, no, that's
He
not
did.
the way.
He said, I fucked that girl in the front of the car and she didn't want it, but I gave it to her anyway. Or some kind of fucking shit. Like, I'm sitting here going, what's happening?
No, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because the way it works, and this is how they keep it kind of low key, right? Is they take just a few officers from many departments, right? So, and then what they do is if you look at their websites, some of their classes are post certified in their state, right? So I was looking at the website yesterday, and a couple of the classes that were held in Georgia were Georgia post certified, meaning that officers got to do a certain amount of classes each year to retain that post certification for the police officer, for your license, whatever they call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so what happens is these guys will sign up on their own, right? Now, the department will pay for it, or the taxpayers will pay for it, because I've got the credit card receipts that'll show you that. So the taxpayers pay for all these conferences and stuff like this, but there's really no oversight. These guys are like, hey, I got to take a class next month, Captain. It's post-certified. I'll be gone from this day to this day. That's it.
That's
right. And the chief's not going, well, let me see who these guys are. And
Okay, so you're saying what's post-certified? So who's certifying these people to train this stuff?
The police officer standard and training, I believe, is what post means. So, and it could boil down to something like this. It could boil down to, whoever is allowing these post certifications to be on the, on the training could be a friend of one of the officers doing the training.
That's who you go after.
Kickback.
Yeah, who signed the paper for that? Who signed it? I want to know the person's name who signed the certification.
Well, I mean, you'll have to do some research then, buddy. I mean, they're not going to tell us, just come out right out and tell us. You're going to have to make FOIA requests for that, and make some phone calls and see, and then again, it's like every state, Now, I didn't see a lot of states that were post-certified on any of this training, but I did see that Georgia had some post-certifieds on there. So my guess is that whoever's post-certifying them in Georgia is either a friend of the, company's owners or the instructors, or is looking to get put on as an instructor himself. I mean, literally they're milking the taxpayer, right? Like $700,000, I think, is what they'll make if they get just 1,000 people in here in Orlando. And I'm thinking Orlando, people love to come to Orlando for these conventions and stuff like that. Plus it's, the end of April, it's still cold a lot up north. So a lot of these guys are thinking, hey, I'm going to go down to Orlando, spend a couple of days in the fun in the sun.
We paying for all of that.
Right.
The
the mayor of Dalton's going to be down here. You know the mayor of Dalton's going to be down here.
I
You know,
saw that shit today too. That shit show today.
yeah. Hey, listen, there isn't a conference going on in the United States that she ain't going to hit up. You know, we've got a Ruth Chris too. I mean, she's down.
Yeah,
She's
she gonna
coming.
have big posters with her face on there with her image.
Oh
and
yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah, she's gonna put it on one of these double-decker buses.
All right, it come in like that, right?
Yeah.
So remind me what your video was about again, just so everybody knows why we're doing this.
My video, the one that 10th man got upset about, he texted me in the middle of his work. He was raging. I was like, who the hell is this? Because I got a new phone, so I don't have all my contacts. And then he told me it was 10th. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Used to 10th.
No, 10th. Yeah, all right, we're good. But it's a video that I posted a couple days ago with that new auditor from Ohio, where that deputy went from like 0 to maniac in like 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, he said something like, you got to leave one time, and then he was like, I mean right now. And you know what I mean? It's just like the Conan the Barbarian scream, and then he starts putting his hands on the guy. I literally thought for a second, I thought that he was getting thrown down the stairs. Like, literally, that's
Yes.
how intense that guy was. I mean, and I don't call a whole lot. You know, I call when I see something egregious like this. And as soon as I saw this video, before I started editing it or posting it or anything else, I called that damn police department. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was upset with that. It really upset me.
GS and Cliff, that I want to get in here because we can go on forever. GS, Cliff, good to see you guys.
Yeah, what's going on, GS and Cliff?
Well, I'll jump in first, and then GS, you go right after me. I appreciate it. I did watch the video. The deputy's name is McCabe, badge number 702. I've got people that made the calls, and I made a call myself that we've reported an assault and battery and kidnapping, and we want charges pressed on him. So,
I wouldn't say it's the worst I've ever seen, but it's pretty bad.
It was awful. And happy to be here. I haven't been on your panel in a long time, Rogue. Good to see you, GS. Good to see you, Joe Cool. And I don't know who you are, but if you're an auditor, I'd like to get to know you. I want to get to know all auditors. Starting a channel here. It's called the Vigilance Committee. And I'll have some videos out here pretty soon. So Rogue knows me pretty
Vigilance Committee. CVC.
The Vigilance Committee. The Vigilance Committee.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching. I'm watching a little bit of the video here. It's pretty disturbing.
Can we put some of it up? Yes. If Rogue don't strike us, you know how he is about that shit. But can we watch some of that shit? I know I saw it, and as soon as I see it, it'll kick in.
I mean, I can share somebody else's screen, but to play YouTube on, and I'm even hooked.
Give me a minute.
You can share it. You can share mine. I got it up right now.
You got two, Tally.
Okay, buddy's got it. Yeah, I'm not even on a PC, so.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Do I
how do
have
I
to
share
present or something?
Yeah, you got to present. You got to share the
screen. There we go. Okay. Now you okay it, right? Okay.
Yeah, I add it to the stage.
You got to make sure you press the button for share sound.
It's
not this video. Yeah,
not
he wasn't talking about this. No.
I thought this was the one where the guy lost his leg or something. You were afraid
it was, but we weren't talking about this one. We were talking about one from like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's called Deputy Goes from 0 to Maniac in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
Hold on, let me go to Rogue Nation. There we are.
Yeah, all that pouring up there.
All right. It was a video, so it's edited. I love it. There's the bill. All right. You said how many days ago? Like 3 days ago?
Yeah, that was it up there. Third one from the left.
This one right here?
Yeah, Deputy Goes 0 to Maniac. That had to be it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me know if you guys can hear
sound too.
That's it.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
The shirt says,
Okay.
I believe, balls deep.
Is there? I love that. She actually loves it too. You can tell.
He says his name is Captain Awesome.
That's pretty classic.
Yeah. So, is there a place you want me to go to, or?
And do we have a insane... you can fast forward till we get to where he's inside the building. From a new guy, literally a new guy. 2 videos. Yeah, you can start there. I mean, the guy's pretty calm about what he's doing. Yeah, you can tell he's new. He's got 2 videos. You can see the bottom. I don't know what the hell that's going on there, but you know, I know he's legally blind. So
Oh my God, are you
video
serious?
taken as-
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah.
Is this,
Not bad.
Yeah.
is this the blind auditor?
Just taking some pictures and video.
No, this isn't blind justice, but he's legally blind, like blind justice is.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
What's it for? What's it for?
And the onus would be on you to keep it confidential.
Yeah, but who are you with?
Myself.
Yeah, you can't do that in here.
I love
Yeah, I sure can.
No.
No, sir, there's confidential
Yeah,
information
we'll get in
here.
trouble.
What?
There's documents on the counters that have people's names and social securities that you could zoom in on.
And you can turn that over.
No, I need you to put that away.
Yeah.
This guy, for being blind, he's been paying attention. I mean, he's listening. He's got the right answers.
So he has a skill that 99% of government employees do not. He can listen.
And he can turn documents
Exactly.
over
I'm
and
gonna
protect
get my shots.
No, I need you to do it now. Please,
Wow.
I need you to please leave.
Yeah, well.
Sir.
There's no
Yeah,
recording
well, I'm
in
not
here.
getting my pictures.
No, sir, there's confidential information in
And
here
you
that you
can cover
cannot
it
be.
up.
Why would you put confidential
cover it up.
You can't
information
cover
out
it
in
up because
public?
if you
Great question, Joe. Why would you? And look at the power poses. They all got their hands on their hips. Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
dare you?
See, what I find funny is, like, I really like Tuapri. Who knows if he's a good guy or not, but I like what he does because he's making fun of them. I love his fishing videos, right? And see, if I ever start recording people regularly in public, if you guys have ever seen any of the couple videos that I did, I usually start laughing at people, right? Because I find it's surreal to me as being the disgruntled viewer to have these people say this nonsense to me, and I've already got a million things to say to them, right? And that's why. Go ahead. It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
stay at home, you have people's social security numbers and other information that you cannot
Right.
have.
Right, and you can, like I said, you can turn it over. The onus is on you
No.
to keep that information
No.
private, not me.
Yes.
It is your responsibility.
100%, lady.
Nah.
Wow. The ignorance,
Well,
dude.
you've spun around a couple times since I've been here.
Yeah.
I think you got
And it was
everything
more
you
than
need to know
that.
now.
Who are you with, sir? Are you with
He's
the company?
with
Myself.
himself.
I'm with
Let
myself.
me. I kind of got a question here because I had. Do you mind if I pause it real quick? Is that? I kind of.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Please.
I like the more experienced auditors here because I was talking to another auditor who's potentially going to start auditing and who knows people in an area, and he made a comment about group auditing versus solo auditing, and I think in a situation like this, especially if you're seeing impaired on top of that, having someone to kind of have your back a little bit, an extra set of eyes, even if they're holding back a little bit, is I think is probably super important. But he argued that it's probably not a good idea because it tends to elevate other people's attitudes towards the people doing the audits. And then someone else mentioned something else that was quite interesting. And I can't remember who, I think it might have been Foshin or it might have been Gandalf who said something about like they can push RICO on you. They can basically say that you're coming from all these different areas, like an organized crime thing. And so because you're coming from all these different places.
Yep.
Oh no, it was Lawrence Accountability. Was saying it with Justin because they originated there, and it's not like they came from different counties to work together in this one other county. That's where they've always originated. So who said yeah? Was that 10th?
Yes. See, I wish I hadn't got high when I first came up here because I had a lot to say. But so It's all a scam.
Yeah.
Everything's a scam. Like, it's been proven time and time again. When you look at that cop training video, that those shysters are able to pull off that scam in front of your law enforcement shows that they're completely incompetent. 99.9. Go ahead.
Hold on, Tim. You're definitely high because you're off on a tangent. What
Yeah.
GS wasn't even talking about. Let me get in there with GS real quick. GS, as far as
recap the question for 10th. It was the pros and cons of going alone versus going with other auditors.
No, I understand that. That's what I was leading up to, is that they've written the laws so that you can't win. And when you try to hold your government officials accountable to the exact same laws, it never, ever happens. Because I think it was somebody, I watched a video today, and they explained that, I think it was, I can't remember. It might have been the black dude that used to be a cop. What's his name? With the People Tyrant Wars. No, sorry. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Tobiah, what's his name? Tobiah?
Yeah, Tobiah Ishmael or something. Yeah. So, they said that there's 3 levels of government, and that the worst is the judiciary to try to hold accountable in any way. And it's all set up like that on purpose. It's all like, these people probably 95 most. Yeah, it was James Freeman. So these people know that you're allowed in there. But what it is that they know the sheriff. They know that they know the city clerk. They know that they know the city attorney. So they don't give a fuck, because they all have qualified immunity, and they're not going to be held accountable. None of these people are going to go to jail, no matter what they do. They can all pull out guns and empty their guns on them and say that they were scared for their life, and there's a 75% chance they're not going to have any repercussions at all.
Right. But I guess I understand you think that it's obvious that the deck's kind of stacked against us. What I'm saying is it more or less prevalently dangerous to go alone, or maybe with one other person, or like a group of 5 or 6, or even just like a flash mob of auditors? What is the most dangerous? What is the most beneficial?
Yeah. Let's let Rogue answer this one, because he has done both quite a bit.
Yeah, I have, and there's pros and cons with either and without either. I enjoy going out by myself as much as I enjoy going out with 1 or 2 guys, Wrights and James or Foshin, or any of the other guys I've gone out with, Joe Cool. So it just depends. Now, for a mass audit, there's nothing wrong with it. We've had upwards of 10 auditors at a spot before. And RICO would be really hard to prove, right? There has to be an ongoing criminal organization, criminal conspiracy, right? Just because 10 people happen to show up, to do some video recording, which, by the way, isn't illegal, so wouldn't trigger RICO anyway. Then I don't really have a fear of that. But yeah, I prefer myself to go with either by myself or with a small group, 1 or 2 guys that I know and trust to act appropriately, right? Because you go out with some guy you don't know, and the next thing you know, he's throwing blows, and cops are whipping out tasers and guns, and you're getting shot because you reached to scratch your ass, and that's it. That's all they wrote. So,
if I may add in on what you're saying, that's where I was leading to, is that it depends on the auditor, right? So Jeff is here, our NC Tyrant Hunter. He'd have probably been beat up and arrested hundreds of times if he hadn't been out with Carolina Auditor. It depends on the auditor specifically, and what their style is.
I would say pros and cons too. Going out with different people, whether it's a few or a bunch, I say go do it all. Even the crazy motherfuckers, and I understand Rogue 1,000%, but I'm okay with it. The guys who get drunk and do fuck with women, whatever the fuck it is out there, go out with all them motherfuckers. All of them have their advantages, and you will find magic that can occur. when you're out there with other people that one person could not have created. I mean, moments is just magic. It just it couldn't have happened with you alone. And it has its disadvantages because you get a lot of motherfuckers that just want to talk the entire time, talk over you, and it goes kaput. But experience it all. And doing your best work, always think your best work is going to be done alone. There's a lot to be saying about that, but you don't get that Superman experience that you get when you're with other guys. Sometimes it's just you can't explain it, bro. You're a god.
I guess the to do a follow up on that. Thank you for all the answers, well thought out answers, folks. I appreciate that. As someone that's venturing forth to do exactly what you guys have been seasoned to do already. But I,
yeah, you're going out and audit and you haven't yet.
I did a little bit, just with for public safety. I did I tried to not involve myself too much because it was kind of their story. And
couldn't have picked a better guy, though, right? That dude.
Yeah, he knows his shit. That's for sure. But so for me, it's like the situation for me is like I'm hearing other people saying that they're trying to use a RICO angle. I'm not saying it's legit.
Credence.
I'm not saying it's legit. Yeah. I'm saying this is what these pricks are doing to try to shut our ability to have cameras on things. And
hold on, somebody bought one of those fake Freeman beards up here again. Hey, buddy. Oh, my bad. That's eerie. My bad.
So I was just wondering if anyone had heard using the whole RICO thing. If you guys have heard it.
If you're gonna go auditing and recording, you have to just resign yourself to the fact you're gonna get arrested.
And to the RICO shit, a bunch of my buddies got arrested, and we had been plotting and planning through text. And one of the idiots gave up his phone to the cops and let them dump it. He told them they'll let him out early if you give him all the info, who he's with, and what we was talking about and shit.
Yep.
So you got to worry about that when you go out with multiple motherfuckers too.
So I know my answer was really drawn out, but so I would never ever record with someone else. Maybe Joe Cool or somebody I've known for a real long time, but I'm not going out there and getting involved in stuff. Like when I went to the gay rights rally versus the parents' rights rally, I was there with my mother-in-law and husband, but they were way away and were nowhere involved in any of the stuff with me screaming in people's faces and them screaming in mine and shit like that. I would never have somebody with me, right? Because you got to know that, just like Rogue was trying to say, you got to know that person real well, so you guys can feed off of each other's body cues and stuff like that. Otherwise, shit's gonna get
about the guy who hops out hot.
Yep.
The guy who starts to stir shit. The guy who films just people walking up and down the sidewalk. You gotta see it. You gotta do it. It's all experience. Learn it all. I hope you don't go to jail. And then pick and decide. You'll veer away from the nonsense, but it's a must, man. I still want to go out with Furry or someone who might mace a motherfucker. I'm gonna be me. I don't have to become them. But the experience is invaluable.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. If you're in the wrong spot, that will be you getting maced. Furry don't have no any background stuff. He's gonna just start spraying. You're gonna be back there, Joe Cool. You're gonna be high. You're gonna be wandering around, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Furry's gonna whip out that bear mace, dude, and it's gonna blast you in the face like a shotgun of weed smoke, dude. You're gonna be down for a week.
Joe Cool's so fucked up. He's gonna ask for seconds.
Yeah, I've been shot so many times and maced so many times, man. Fuck it, I'm down, man.
That's like spicy weed, right, Joe?
Yeah, right. It's like good weed.
Clear up his sinuses.
So I think what Joe Cool's saying is, hey, if you want to get in some trouble, come on and audit with me. It'll be fun.
Yes, I don't want to talk about personal shit, but the auditors in Chicago, when I first came out, they made a pact not to go out with me. Said I'd get them arrested. I was too crazy and all of that bullshit. They wouldn't even fucking say hi to me until I was more popular. A lot of people just don't want to get them arrested. So thank you, Rogue. We've been out a few times, and
oh yeah, man.
Want to get my man arrested for sure.
Yeah, no, Joe was a pleasure to go out with. We had a great time.
No, we did.
We got booted out of Gary City Hall.
City Hall, that's right.
Yeah, one of the worst cities in America.
We
But
went to a private airport.
but I tell you what, because of mine and Joe and Freedom to Film was with us as well that day. You know, just us going to that building cleared up a lot of the misconceptions, right? Because freaking media and MCC went there about I think about 6 to 8 months after we did, and they treated them like gold. You know what I mean? And there had been nothing that happened in between except for our visit. And what happened with our visit, I got on the phone with the city attorney.
Yeah, we made progress
while we were there.
Till some crazy fucking cop came in. Rogue had them going back. They were gonna do it. And then the lady came in. She said, hold up, one more call. I mean, Rogue had been up there a long time. They were trying to kick me and somebody out downstairs. And just when I think they were just about to let us in, some crazy cop who they've been telling we scaring the whole building and we're being dicks. It would have been us, not Rogue, by the way. He separated and they came and threw us out. Yeah, at the last minute.
Yeah, that's another great thing about going with a couple of other guys is that you guys can, you know, wander around the building separately. You know, the biggest thing with going out with other people is that you know, you're going to be sharing footage, right? So in the YouTube community, if you're going out with a guy that's got 50 to 100,000 subs and you've got 2,000 subs and you guys are shooting the same stuff, the people are going to watch it on the bigger channel and might not make it over to the smaller channel to watch. So
I like to, and you're right about that shit. I like the creative part of it too. You got all these different angles to bounce back from.
Right, right. So people have had trouble with that. I used to go out with Eyes on the State. We went out together almost every audit for like 2 years. Wow. And I told him, I said, listen, the only way you're going to grow is by doing your own content. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't even talk in my videos. He would just stay in the back. And, you know, I was always the one to go in. And I tried to let him go in a couple of times on his own. And, you know, but that's the only way is, you know, that's how you'll really make it. And that, you know, that's helped out Sean as well, is because you can't go to no other channel and see that audit. You know what I mean? You can only get it on Long Island Audit's channel.
I should suggest before, I'm sorry if I interrupted. I should suggest before you go out with others, hit it a dozen times at least by yourself. At least that would be my suggestion. Get to know yourself, and then
absolutely. And I do know too that Rogue has gone out with other people to try to help them too build their channel. I know that Lafayette County Audits was very appreciative when Rogue went out with him, Matthew Reardon. It did help him get more subscribers as well. Lends a little bit of credibility too. So especially when you're going out with the OG like Rogue. So
no, right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll help. You know, if people are of the same mindset of an auditing as I am, I won't mind going out with them and you know, even being in the background for them in case something goes hairy and you need someone to pop up and be, you know, slick off the lip with the law.
That's the example of that magic I was talking about. You go out with Wrights or James and you guys got magic together. That alone, you're good, but together, you're magic. That's the shit I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing when you got, you know, like you say, one or two guys with you, and every one of you is bringing, you know, something to the table. Like James will pop off with policies because, you know, he's an ex-cop, and I tell you, one of my funnest audits ever was we went out. It was late night. We were cop watching and just rolling around, you know, seeing what was up. And we rolled by the Apopka Police Department, and there were 3 cops sitting out there. And we rolled up out there, and James and me walk up, and James is like, "Hey, you mind if I test the 10 on your window?" And bro, I've seen some cops run away fast from us from video recording and shit. I even got a video that says how to lose a cop in 60 seconds. But when I tell you that these cops ran from us, bro, I'm not joking, dude. They literally ran.
And did he have a tester? I remember he said he was going to get one. Did he have
no. He had a tester. We stood out there for about 2 hours and they never came back out. I mean, those guys ran away from us, and like I said, I got one video where I was in Alabama with Alabama Transparency, and this cop walks up to us. He goes, "Well, what are you doing?" I says, "I'm doing a story." "What's the story on?" "Corruption." "You know anything about it?" Boom! That cop turned and walked away, dude. Literally.
Good.
30 seconds, dude. Literally 30 to 60 seconds. That cop, he kind of like scuffed, but he was out of there.
That's brilliant, bro.
Yeah, he didn't want no trouble after that. But let's finish watching some of this video so we can get to the part that's really,
All right.
it's really disturbing.
And eerie, all right. Yeah.
To exercise my right
Sir,
to be
you
able
cannot
to take
zoom
pictures
in
and
on our
video
desks.
in public places.
The fuck
This is not publicly accessible. The public doesn't come in here.
They're gods.
If I can see it, I can record it.
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You can't trespass the eyes.
I'm not gonna argue.
What is that makes people think that other people are beneath them? Clearly, they all think that.
I'm impressed by he seems to have the right answer at the right time, and he doesn't seem to be elevating, but he's staying kind of firm. Yeah. He's well studied with the auditing, so I think he's representing himself well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't know if
the problem becomes when you're in these situations, it's a lot different than watching them, right? Your adrenaline's going. You've got 4 or 5 people surrounding you.
Very good.
You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know what they're going to do. People make all kinds of accusations. You know what I mean? They do all kinds of stupid and crazy stuff. I know a lot of people think that these people actually know the law and they just, they don't want to obey it, but they know it. But I'm of the exact opposite opinion. I don't think none of these fuckers know the law at all. You know what I mean? The cops that come out to even some of the people that actually make the law, like this guy could have voted on that law 2-3 years ago, and he done forgot about it. He wouldn't have a damn clue. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. They think policy, they can do anything they want. They really believe that, and they're reinforced by each other's ignorance or bravado or whatever it is. They're in the moment.
Right.
They're not faking it, most of them.
Right. Well, because it's if you work for a private company, you get the feeling that, hey, this place where I work is our place. You know what I mean? And this is our space.
Exactly.
And
the
same,
their mouths.
Right. And the same thing with these guys. They think, oh, I've worked here for 20 years. This is our building. I know everybody that works here. I travel these halls daily. They think it's a damn TV show of Cheers or something, you know what I mean? Everybody knows their name. I'm big man around town here, and I got to show out, and make sure my building's protected against, this guy. I don't even know who he is.
I do understand. I do understand what you're saying, but I think that you're underestimating people. I truly believe that they know that you're allowed to be there and that they can't do anything about it. I'm saying they're willing to throw their friend who's the sheriff under the bus because they literally don't give a fuck. It's nothing to do with laws or anything to do with that. You guys see the video when the cops went to that trailer and attacked the elderly man to arrest the guy because he got in an argument with a guy who ran from his property out to the street, started screaming at his car, and the guy drove away. And then later on, they come and arrest the young fellow that's with his parents and attack the parents. You can't tell me that the cops didn't know that they couldn't do that, right?
I can tell
they
you
just don't
lady
care.
Doesn't know that the FOIA laws mean that everyone must have a person who's taking the FOIA classes. A FOIA officer must be in every public body. They don't know that shit.
I'm telling you, they do, and because I've seen it with auditing area counties videos dozens of times where he's talked to the like town lawyer and stuff like that. And if you're talking to look at that video where the woman recently was saying, "Oh, I'm the law clerk here, or whatever. I'm the city attorney or whatever the fuck she was." And the cop looked at her and he goes, "Oh, I guess you know the law better than me." He's like, "He'll sue me if I stop him from doing this." The cop is explaining it to that lawyer. You can't
that
tell me
was
that the lawyer
incredible.
doesn't know that. She's willing to she's going to try to intimidate that cop to break the law so that he gets charged, but she's not going to get charged. Is she willing to put her hands on you? No, she's not. I'm telling you, I understand where you're coming from, that you think they don't know the law. I'm telling you, they do know the law, and they just don't care.
I'm
Okay,
saying they do
So
all
go
that
ahead. Sorry.
shit that you said. They do all of that shit. Put ignorance, throw the cop in front of there when they won't take the chances. But it still doesn't mean that they know the laws. And let's ask Erie. What do you think? Do those people know the laws behind the counter?
I think 10, 15 years ago, I think these people knew the law. I think they've forgotten it over time. And like, I think 10, 15 years ago, you would have had a better chance of walking into a public place and all the public employees acknowledging this is a public place, and that comes with certain abilities for people to do things. But I think that over time, like, people just forgot. Like, I don't think that they know the law. Like, I think, time and time again, I go into a county building and educate a whole building in an hour without having really any incidences. But I'm telling you, in a year or two, they're going to forget again. They just don't. It doesn't retain in their heads.
So that makes
It's
sense.
it's just like that because they that's their building, their job. They go to every day, and not everybody exercises their rights. And before you know it, they get this certain ownership over this building, and like a revisit every 2 years at least. Every building you ever done, you give a 2-year gap. Not only are you getting different elected officials in there making different rules and thinking they can do the world, it's just these people forget who their boss is. And
well, let me go ahead and give you a personal example that I've had in just the last few weeks. Everybody knows I've got a federal case with the Social Security Administration. I got a federal public defender. I'm on my second public defender because my first public defender, okay, believe it or not, and again, this guy's been a public defender for 20 years, right? He's went to law school. He's been a public defender for 20 years. And you know what he told me? And he absolutely meant it. We almost came to blows over this. He was so upset. He told me that I was lucky that they didn't sue me for using their likeness in my videos. People in the lobbies. Right? Now, how the hell does this guy know the law if he's telling me? And like I said, we almost came to blows about this. He was literally upset. He couldn't believe that I had violated these people's privacy, and that they could sue me. He says, for using their likeness. And I told him, I said, listen, I encourage. Do you need my address to send the paperwork to? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe this guy said this to me. I was like, look, dude, I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I said, I eat, breathe, sleep, First Amendment law. I said, I know I didn't go to law school, granted, but in 5 years of doing this daily, do you think, is it possible at all, I might know a little bit about it?
He gets less than $200 to do your fucking case, and he's on to the next man. He doesn't have a lot of incentive to spend a lot of time.
That's a good point.
Well, right, but I mean, the law is still the law. I mean,
agreed.
I say your lawyer was right, and maybe you misunderstood, which is he understands because it works in the legal system that the law is irrelevant, and it actually only matters what relationship what lawyer has with that judge, and that's the deciding factor, right? Because don't forget that when you appeal to higher courts, you can't appeal the evidence or the actual factors of the case, only whether or not there was some type of judicial misconduct or something like that, right? So,
well, if there's a clear error in the facts, then yeah, you can appeal that.
Nope, not most circuit courts.
No, yeah, it's called clear error, is what it's called, clear error, and that's for the facts. So the court will review a case de novo, and that is pertaining to if there's been procedural mishaps, evidence mishaps. But if there's mistakes in the actual law that the court applied, it's reviewed under what's called clear error. So you can have that reviewed. So again, it gets complicated.
Yes. But
And
what I'm saying,
Six Oaks just posted it right here, which for those that don't know, Six Oaks is a legal mastermind. But yeah, clear error is for the facts of the case. So, or excuse me, the facts of the law of the case. So if the judge said, well, you recording people in a public space is illegal and they could sue you for that, then you can have the circuit court review that. The circuit court goes, yeah, it's not illegal to record people in public. So that's a clear error of law right there.
yes.
So if I may, I hear problems and I try to be a solutions guy, and this might sound completely lame brain. I'm just going to throw it out there into the ethos and we'll see how it bounces around, or it proves to be something that someone can refine or just reject offhand. So what I'm hearing is from the more seasoned auditors out there is that there's a lack of accountability. There's also this thing called qualified immunity in some cases and for some state workers. In the Army, you had this little thing called collective punishment, where if one or two people in the platoon screwed up, they'd kind of punish the whole platoon, and then that would get the whole platoon to start policing each other because they didn't want to get their balls smoked, right? So you kind of police your own people. So if there's some form of collective punishment, I understand that this would probably be a real big stretch of being legal. But like if an office were to have an infraction of an egregious nature that was like an infringement on someone's civil rights, then there would be like a 2 or 3 days without pay, kind of like a docking of a pay or something like that. Not necessarily straight up firing, but like a week, they miss out on a week's wages, not like a month, because people might end up losing their whole homes. A lot of people are paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if that sounds incredibly lame.
Sounds like a great idea. I've thought about it myself. I don't know how we go about doing that shit.
Well, that's
legislatively, but go ahead.
Well, that's what I like to call that it sounds good on paper, right? But then you put it into practice, and then what you find is that when we go ahead and implement the system that docks their pay, then we find out that they just, the next city council meeting raised their pay, $10,000 a year to cover that doxing or whatever, you know what I mean?
So it's like a shell game, yeah.
Right, or they just give themselves like more sick days and just spend more time at home getting paid, while they're going fishing with the kids or something like that. I mean, these guys are so entrenched and that's why they feel that way, is because they're so entrenched already in the system that it's hard to get them out. You know what I mean? Like, you need Novocaine, you need a dental drill, you need a hammer. You got to get in there and whack that bitch out, because it's ingrained. It's down there deep, baby. Yes. You can't roll in there with a complaint that they were being, disrespectful and expect them to get fired. You know what I mean? Because especially in these smaller cities, and I'm sure Tenth will agree with me here, on these smaller cities, I mean, you've got the cousins and the aunts and the uncles, and they're all up in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like their second cousin's wife, or you know what I mean? And these families, like specifically Walton County, I'm speaking of right now. Families, there's been 3 families that have ran that country for over 100 years, man. Over 100 years. Like, you can go into the sheriff's department and see the current sheriff's granddaddy statue in there. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no joke.
You're asking for punishment unmasked for a thing. So in light of what Rogue is saying, that these are my people, you're asking a bigger thing now for people to punish their own guys unmasked when they make mistakes. It's a huge ask, even for one person, for them to get the rest. People they know and love, work by. This guy protects my life. He's keeping me safe from the cameraman. How can I punish him? Bullshit.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Rogue.
No, go ahead, buddy.
When it comes down to it, if you start missing, let's just say it does get applied effectively. Otherwise, I'm kind of with 10th. We need to burn the whole damn thing down with pitchforks and torches.
You found 10th. You understand him well, yes.
Yes, I mean, I'm starting to.
Hold on, have you met me before? I have not said anything like that up here.
He's accurate though, right?
No, I mean that's.
Do you know me from before?
No, I don't, sir.
Holy shit! I came off like that. See, I'm the rage I have. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I mean it's either black. I'm trying to find little clouds of hope. I'm trying to find solutions. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, dude, been there, done that, tried that. It's not going to happen." Like Rogue articulately explain, or very articulately explained that they'll just move money around, man. They'll find a way to compensate. But I guess my argument would be is if you make it to the point where individually, I don't want to miss a fucking paycheck. I can't miss a week's worth of paycheck. I might not make my mortgage, right? Or my wife might leave me, or so it makes it individually painful that collectively they're responsible for one another. Like you become your brother's keeper in a way.
I want to take it a step further. I want them to be their brother's rats. I want a fund where they get paid to turn in other cops. You dig? So that'll be they'll do anything for money. Apparently, let's give them money for that shit.
Yeah. So I get it. And listen, when you guys are speaking, I just really I want to get done with this video as soon as possible so I can pop down and listen, because I'm learning a lot, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to answer the questions you have. Because
let's do the video so you can get out of here then.
Yeah, I can make room for other people.
Well, Auditing Erie County's got a video he wants to
It's only 5 minutes.
I don't know if you
It's
can
only
switch
5
in
minutes.
between. I don't know if you can switch in between, but I got a short clip where you guys wonder if an employee knows their rights or not. But this clip here is like, if you're convinced that you could watch this little clip here and convinced that this employee, not only does he not know the law, he's convinced on the exact opposite thing. And this guy here is about to tell us that the 14th Amendment copyrights his face. All right, and he's convinced. And he's so convinced that I almost questioned my own.
I thought it did.
Like, you tell me after listening to this black guy here on the left, you tell me if you believe that this employee knows the difference, or if he really thinks that he can his face is copyrighted by the Constitution.
You guys are public employees. This is constitutionally protected activity.
Okay, I'm asking you to leave.
I'm
asking you not to put me on camera.
Can I please just have all those tenants' rights?
You can have, yes, you can.
That's all I was asking for.
Well, you didn't have to bring in your camera to do that, and we're asking you not to have us on film. Thank you.
I understand you're asking, but you guys are public employees.
Okay, all right.
This is constitutionally protected.
Yeah, this is my right not to be on your camera.
You don't have a right
to
use a person's likeness.
So I'm asking you to leave again.
You guys work for the government.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
We do, but our likenesses do not belong to the government.
He's speaking with authority.
You understand you can't
I can
arbitrarily use a person's public likeness in any respect.
There's no such thing as privacy in public.
Here's the thing. So you understand copyright law?
Copyright laws?
Yeah. Do you understand copyright law? Like, for example, your name and your likeness is assumed your personal copyright.
Yeah, but you guys waive that when you become a public employee.
There's no waiving.
We waive nothing.
You could actually sue me for using your likeness or your image in any respect without written consent. You should research that.
Not when you're in public, though.
You should research that. It doesn't matter where you are. You should research that.
I think you're the one that needs to research it because I do this for a living.
Okay. There's no time at all that a person surrenders their constitutional rights.
What constitutional right to privacy do you think you have?
You don't think you have constitutional rights to privacy?
Absolutely not. Not in public.
Sure you do.
There's case law on
as long as
it.
what you do doesn't harm anybody. Case law does not supersede constitutional law. For as long as what you do doesn't harm anybody.
What constitutional amendment gives the right to privacy in public? Because the First Amendment does the exact opposite.
Here's the thing. For as long as you're not causing injury to anybody, you can move around in public all you want.
Right.
But it's when you cause injury.
No, it's injuring you?
No.
Well, then I'm good.
You don't have to be confrontational. I'm just explaining to you what the law is because you're saying you study.
This guy sounds like a sovereign citizen.
That's what I'm saying to you. As an individual.
Throw that man in a locker.
As an individual. You can go to any judge or anybody else to confirm as much.
How in any way are you being confrontational right now?
Then you can engage and move around.
Listen, you guys think that these people, these public servants, they know, but they're just playing dumb to get you in trouble.
Not for a second.
This motherfucker here, he doesn't have a freaking clue, but he just read it somewhere.
You're right. He thinks he knows for sure. You're an 100%. Idiot.
He is talking to me like I don't know what I'm talking about, and so it's to the point where like I'm starting to question. I'm like, does this guy know something I don't? Like, do you guys think that these public employees are smart and they just playing dumb to get us in trouble? No, these fuckers are so dumb. They actually believe you can't take their picture because the 14th Amendment protects them copyright. Well, let me tell you something, guys. I copyrighted this man's face, and if anybody uses his face in this video, I could get a copyright strike on him. So he's no longer a liar. His face is copyrighted by me.
Ouch.
I think he knows the law, but he's so used to bullshitting people and them buying it.
You really think he doesn't know he's full of shit right now?
I think he knows he's full of shit, but he's so used to people buying his bullshit. Because I run into it all the time. People are just so used to being able to will somebody into doing what they want that they have convinced themselves. That's what I believe. That's what I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, they think they can make people believe they're, what they believe. But I mean, if you haven't seen those videos where they're asking, college students, questions as they walk by, like when was the revolution? Oh, Abraham Lincoln. I know that. You know what I mean? Like these people today, right? These people today are dumbed down. They're ultra stupid. I mean, there's no way that this guy has any clue what the First Amendment is. This guy right here standing behind him. He might be able to name 3 of them: freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and maybe freedom of press, but he wouldn't know the other 2. And he wouldn't be able to go and give you an in-depth analysis of any of them, right? Just like he's talking about the 14th Amendment copyrights his face. This guy don't have a clue what the 14th Amendment does. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to ask him, what's the first paragraph even consist of, this guy's not going to have a damn clue what you're talking about.
No, he hasn't investigated anything for himself. That's clear.
No, and you can see it by the lady's eyes. Look at her eyes right there. She is totally eating this up, dude. She has no clue. Yeah, she's just, this guy behind me. Cool. Yeah, he's so right. You know what I mean? Like,
he's the smartest guy in the office.
Dude,
he knows what he's talking about.
Right. She's not turning around to correct him at all. This isn't the way that, you know what I mean? Like, if you were to travel back in time and to see, Plato and Socrates, they're arguing, philosophizing, out there in the public, you're not going to see this kind of behavior. You're going to see people that are going to turn around and call him on his shit. You know what I mean? Like, this lady, she don't even bend her neck to look behind her. She's loving it. She's eating it up. She believes this 100%.
She's just nodding like, yeah, no, we didn't give up our rights to have
right.
Like, nope.
Right.
Amendment, copyrighted. Yep.
I actually think you're all right. I think some of these public servants are so ignorant and have no clue. And then I think some of these other public servants out there, they know exactly what they're doing and they don't care.
We're in agreement. Yes,
and they will try to BS you. Yep. Absolutely.
There's no way you guys could convince me that either of these 2 knuckleheads on the screen.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't believe.
You're right.
Don't believe they're BS for 1 second. These 2 here totally believe that they're going to sue me for the copyright. I think at one point I said I want to give the guy my information. I was like, man, I just wish I could be there when your lawyer laughs in your face.
And to even talk about the 14th Amendment, I mean, the whole reason the 14th Amendment, I mean, their ancestors benefited from the 14th Amendment. I mean, it's like, and they don't know what it even is. They don't know what it is. They think it's copyright.
Your ancestors got crushed by the 14th Amendment, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think
probably did.
In the military, if you say anything with enough confidence, you'll get a few people to follow you off a cliff until the bodies start hitting the floor.
Right on.
Like, no, fuck that. I ain't doing that.
Truth in that, bro. Yeah.
But yeah, this is great stuff, man. And just let me know. Are you? Go ahead.
Even with confidence comes, like, for instance, in that last bit of the video where the lady's like, no, you can't do this. I use confidence on my side. Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course I can. I'll laugh it off and keep doing it. And it makes them like, wait a minute. If he's that confident to laugh at me and be like, of course I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, I find that to help out a lot in the situations like that when they're about to flip shit. But
yeah, he does look really confident.
When it causes injury, you are in violation.
Right,
So
you're right.
For example, a right is not a right if it infringes on the right of another person. You understand that?
Yeah, but what
Okay,
rights do
stop
you
right
have
there.
a right-
Stop right there. I don't even need to hear any more from this idiot, right? Because again, this should be basic stuff, right? Citizens can't violate other citizens' rights. I can't violate Joe Cool's rights. I can't violate Mr. Erie County's rights. The only way that a private citizen can violate another private citizen's rights is in conspiracy, in conjunction with government agents, right? Now, I can call the police from my private business and have them violate
They
Joe
could
Cool's
violate your
rights.
shit. Yeah.
Right, and you know, we could go into a conspiracy like my cousin's a cop, so I call him up and he comes over and he, you know, mishandles Joe, and you know, I could wrap myself up in it like that. But you know, this whole thing where you know you're abusing your rights and you're violating other people's rights. No, it's impossible for me to violate another person's rights. I can't take your First Amendment right to free speech away from you. You know what I mean? Unless I, you know, wrap your damn head with duct tape, and then it's an actual criminal charge. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
so it's not like that at all. So, yeah, this guy's up to his eyes in bullshit. So, I mean, we don't even need to hear any more.
Oh,
from
we
this
don't have to listen to him anymore.
No,
I'm
no,
just,
no, fuck
no.
that.
The only
This is
reason-
the greatest thing smoking. I want to hear this clown.
No, okay, all right. Go ahead and let Joe finish this out.
He's only got a few more seconds to talking before Mick Trash comes in, guides me out of the office. But yeah, there's the reason I brought this up is because there's no way you could convince me that this idiot or a lot of these idiots out there know that we're allowed to do this. They legitimately think we just can't.
No chance.
Not
He
be
got
recorded in
schooled
this
in
office
the
in publicly
You have a
accessible
right
areas.
to not be recorded in any respect if you ask a person not to.
No, that's incorrect. It really is. I'm not trying to be
actually-
difficult. I'm just saying it's incorrect.
No,
It's-
you can't just say it's incorrect. Quote how it's incorrect. You tell me what law. No,
What about all the
case law.
cameras that
Case
they're
law-
not
case law
asking
doesn't
permission when you
supersede
walk into their
Constitution.
building?
The United States Constitution is freedom,
Freedom
of
of
speech,
press, right?
freedom of religion, and freedom of the press. I have the freedom of the press.
And
That's
what
why I'm
about
allowed to be
freedom
here.
of privacy?
What's that?
Enumerated in the 14th Amendment.
14th Amendment.
Yeah, personal
Right
autonomy
there.
law.
He's using those
Mhm.
Harvard
What are you doing
words.
here today, sir?
All right, Erie County fam. Let me introduce you to Deputy MacDonald. But that's it for the conversation with that guy, McDonald.
Yeah.
Here, she's
Did
the
she
run-on
educate
idiot
him?
as well.
Did she
But
educate him? No, she didn't educate him.
Hey, let GS get to that video so he can jump on
Yeah.
down. But yeah, we got to watch the end of that video.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing now for you. Or does it work, or do I got to do it again?
I see nothing.
was it still in the basement, Rogue?
I just started. There you go. Oh, he has it now. Okay.
There it is.
You've been misinformed.
Are they playing copyrighted music again? That's another one of my pet peeves.
Right.
If you have confidential information in here, you might want to turn that over.
Very good.
Well, he's in our office right now.
He's giving him a tune.
Yeah, it's publicly accessible.
Video.
Kill a guy with a
Okay.
camera.
All righty. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
The sheriff's deputy's already been outside.
You know, they all like to be hall monitors, but they sure as shit hate being monitored by the hall. You know, isn't that interesting?
Is this not City Hall?
This is City Hall.
And it's not publicly accessible?
City Hall is always publicly accessible.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I should leave a public building because why?
I don't know if you're allowed to.
I don't want to be the only one looking at.
Material.
Right. And the onus is on you to keep that information confidential. You can turn it over, you know, but as far as somebody coming in and taking pictures and video, it's not illegal, sir.
Am I arguing with you?
It's a constitutionally protected
Just saying you
activity.
cannot zoom in on people's desk and take
If
confidential information.
if I can walk up to your desk and I can look at this piece of paper, I can record that piece of paper. What the eyes can see, the camera can see. It's not against the law.
Okay.
It's not illegal.
Okay.
He won't win that in court every time. Probably
Do
most
this
times. He
all
won't.
over the place.
Do you enjoy making people uncomfortable?
That's a loaded question.
Your comfort doesn't trump my civil rights.
This guy's got all the right
There
answers.
are
I'm
5
impressed.
elements to the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States.
I just asked,
Speech,
do you, I
press.
just asked, do you not mind making people just personally feel uncomfortable?
Why are you uncomfortable? Aren't there cameras in here?
The girls across the hall were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For a reason to come
They
get
just
us.
they didn't know. They didn't know.
Check this out. If you have a beard, you have to get our sample pack and try 24 different products.
I'm
Well, maybe they'd be more comfortable at home in the kitchen making sandwiches.
surprised there's not training on
Sorry. Rogue's gonna kick me out.
journalists, for auditors,
No, it's pretty funny.
folks that come in and take pictures and videos. I was being very quiet.
That was just me asking you a personal question. If you know, you've made them personally uncomfortable, not so much professionally uncomfortable, personally uncomfortable.
Right.
And I'm just asking you, why do you push that? I mean, I understand the rights to.
I walked in, I said, hello. They got bent out of shape. And I tried to explain to them, ma'am, the onus isn't on me to keep anything that's on your desk confidential. The onus is on you. You can take whatever papers are out and turn them over. It's just the same, sir. If I walked in there and I didn't have this camera in my hand and I walked up to that desk and I happened to look down at Social Security number, how do you know I don't have a photographic memory?
Deputy McCabe from the sheriff's office, you need to leave now.
Hey.
You need to leave now. I'm not going to discuss this. If you want to go to the fire or the sheriff's office and get arrested, stay here.
For being in
You
a
got
public,
the opportunity to leave now.
being-
I'm not discussing it.
for
Oh,
being in a
he's
public-
disturbing the peace.
Hey.
Go.
Don't assault me.
Oh,
Go.
that's
Don't
assault.
Sir,
I'm telling you,
Sir,
leave.
please.
You want to go to the sheriff's
Take your
office?
hands off
Do
me.
you want to go to the sheriff's office?
Sir, I'm in
Oh,
trouble.
dude, I'd be
Take
your
your hands
hucklebearer,
off.
I
dude.
said you're leaving.
Take your hands
Don't
off
fight
me.
me, or I'm going
Don't
to
push me
arrest
down the
you.
stairs.
Call Dave.
Oh, that's a
Don't
cop.
push me down the stairs.
Yes.
You're
It better
under
be.
arrest.
For what?
Disorderly conduct.
Constitution.
I ordered you to leave and you didn't.
A public building.
Turn around.
A public
Turn
building.
around.
You want
A
to pause
public
it or?
building.
Yeah, go ahead, because the only thing left now. I mean, well, no, just play it for a couple more seconds. It'll end here in a second.
I wasn't resisting. What was I resisting? I'm in a public place.
You're not complying. Put your hands on the wall.
This guy could not have done everything more right than what he did.
Now stay right there.
I'm in a public
Not the cop,
place.
the auditor.
I got one little thing, complaints.
Hold on, Joe.
Okay.
Hold on, Joe. Let it play just a couple more seconds,
What's your
because
name?
Deputy McCabe.
What's your badge number?
206.
Thank you, Deputy. And so I'm not allowed to be in a public building?
I think it's a deputy.
Yeah.
Our guy, 9.
I need 911. Tell them to send a deputy.
Thought he was a deputy.
I thought you said.
Turn around. Put your hands on the wall.
I thought you said.
Oh no.
He ain't done.
okay, we can pause it there. And I've actually talked with the young man that made the video. It's East Ohio Audits. So I emailed him. Again, as soon as I saw the video, he got back to me. The charge that they ended up putting on him was, I believe, felony assault of a police officer. The gentleman was a deputy. He's a deputy in the court there. So I guess in their municipality, their municipal building has the city hall, and it also has the court on a higher floor. But from what I'm understanding, they're allowed to not have uniforms on, or not have to wear the uniform or something of that nature. He's working in some kind of capacity there. I'm not sure.
Resisting a cop, that's secondary shit. He'd have to have a primary charge.
Well, it's assault. It's not resist. It's assault on a police officer, felony assault on a police officer. Now, my only thing with the whole thing is that the officer should have never put his hands on him in the first place, right? It was a totally unlawful interaction to begin with. So, him, struggling, assaulting. Hopefully, they've got some, cameras there in the stairwell. Then
even
maybe
without it, he's got his hands on him. He's pushing him, and with no law.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, he's definitely got the right to resist an unlawful arrest. As far as I know, I haven't seen any updated case law on it, but I do believe that is correct, that you have a right to resist an unlawful arrest.
I've been looking at shit up lately in different places. You do not have it, and you have to different degrees in different places. It gets sick.
Different states go different on that rule as far as resisting arrest. Some states you can't even resist an unlawful arrest. You will get yourself in trouble. So everybody listening, don't think that just because some states you can resist an unlawful arrest, some states that second charge will hold. Like Texas is one of them.
Well, they got some you can resist up into a point of how hard you hit the cop and shit. They even have that type of shit in the law.
I called the sheriff's department and I reported someone disturbing the peace, which was the deputy.
What state and police department was this again? Because no one's mentioned it yet. What state and police department is this?
I'll let Rogue answer that one.
Yeah, let Cliff finish real quick, and then I'll get to it.
Yeah. So what I saw was a deputy disturbing the peace and committing an assault and battery and kidnapping. That's what I saw. And that's how I reported it. And I tried to report it as a crime, but they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take my report. And so they all saw the same thing.
Oh, okay, he's back.
Right.
Hey, I
right.
wanted to say, if anyone's waiting in the basement,
go ahead,
drop down. I just want to say thank you very much, and I apologize if I interrupted you, Cliff. I think you lagged out for a second. Thanks for the opportunity to talk and all the answers that were given. Good to see you as well.
No one's in the basement, GS. You're more than welcome to stay up here, brother.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'll let you know. I'll let the panel know if someone's waiting.
Just go ahead and kick me down if someone comes up, and I'll hang out down in the basement until you want to bring me back up again. Then, but I'm just going to listen here for a minute.
Kick Cliff. No. Okay.
Don't pick on Santa.
Me.
I'm going to kick all of you. I'm going to kick all of you. No, listen. The county is Coshocton or something, Ohio. I know Cliff was able to pronounce it. Cliff, what's the pronunciation there? I know I'm messing it up, I'm sure.
Coshocton, and I can't remember how to spell it either, but I had it, and I got the phone number, and I called it, and I can't write, so I wasn't able to write it down.
Yeah, it's in my video. It's in the description of my video, the name and the phone number and everything, so people could go back and look at it. But yeah, just like Tent said, as soon as he shot me, because I thought he was talking about somebody else's video. He was like, "Oh man, you got to do a live about this video." I was like, "Oh man, I missed a good video," because Tent doesn't reach out very often. So when he does, I know it's something serious. And then he shot me the link, and I looked at it. I was like, damn, that's my video. I know exactly what he's talking about, because it was just so egregious and just horrifying, really, how quick that situation turned from really calm and peaceful. Like there wasn't a whole bunch of, Karens or him and the guy were, having a dialogue back and forth. And this guy just comes in, and within literally like 2 seconds, he's just flying off the hook, raising his voice. Then he goes to putting his hands on him, and I literally thought for a second he was going to push the dude down the stairs, or they were going to fall down the stairs or something.
That guy has been doing that and been a tyrant for 40 years plus, guaranteed. Just like
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Completely out of control, and he's a deputy for the.
That was a
court,
normal
too,
every day for him.
Yeah, I'm sure his kids hate him as well. He probably did the same kind of activity at home to his kids, and pushed and slapped them around when they didn't, do what he wanted or whatever.
It's logical.
Yeah, so
McCabe is his name, and his badge number is 206.
Yep, 206, Deputy McCabe. You guys want to call and tell them how grateful you are for, such great service that we get from these guys.
My point about all of this is everybody's heard about the cop that got shot in New York, made a big deal of it. Trump went to the funeral, and Biden went with his buddies, Obama and somebody else, to a fundraiser, right? But not for the cops. And everybody makes a big deal about this. They got a big parade, hundreds of cops out there, and a big, So, that's what I've been saying the whole time. And I talked to a cop a couple days ago who's retired and been retired for 10 years. And we had a conversation where I said, man, I really wish that you were the person that taught all the cops. And he goes, they've asked me and I don't want nothing to do with it. And I said, just with what's going on, it's becoming a problem. And he goes, yeah, because they're breaking the social contract. This is what I try to tell everybody is we are governed by consent. And if you are going to try to govern then without our consent, then you're going to walk up to someone's car in New York and you're going to say, hey, I need you to get out of the car. And he's just going to empty his gun on you. And that's going to happen more and more and more. And then it's the end of everything. So, doesn't that just make, because if that office where this happened was within any reasonable driving distance from here, I would be there tomorrow, right now, after seeing that today. I'd be there tomorrow. All my plans for tomorrow will be done. I wouldn't be going to the eye doctor for my glasses because I'm old. I'd be going there and finding that specific guy and saying, hey, so apparently it's not okay to record in here, right? And then he'll say whatever response, and I'll be like, you want to try putting your hands on me like you did, buddy? Because it ain't going to turn out the same. That's because I'm calling. We've all done it. We've called all the places, man. It's over. The whole thing's done, right? So all we can do now is start confronting these people, and not in a nice way, right? Here in Canada now, I can go to jail for life if I say Joe Cool's not a woman, and he goes to the cops about it. It's all over.
Well, I don't suggest anybody fight the cops at any point in time. Just to be
I didn't say fight them. I didn't say fight them. I said you show up there and you say, because that's what I would do. I'd be like, do you want to try to put your hands on me like you did, buddy, the other day?
Yeah, but what if he does? I'm saying is you're never.
Let's fucking go, bro. No, that's what I'm talking about. How am I not going to win? How am I not going to win? That fucking 80-year-old man's going to take me out.
I'm telling you guys all, there's only one way to win in the system, in their system, is that to out-professionaling these pricks. So
I think those days are gone.
Everybody like Chili that wants to run their mouths and get a little mouthy and say all these things. Yeah, it's your right. Maybe you have to spend $40,000 or $50,000 in appeals, and if they're going to even give you an appeal, number one. Number two, the only way you're going to get the bootlickers on their side is when you can out-professional these guys. So every situation that you guys have, you have to out-professional these professional peacekeepers. Go in there and saying you can't do it and taking an arrest and take it to court is your only way. I don't suggest anybody go and try to fight the government in any manner.
Okay,
never going to win.
How many people did you not see so you know about Karen Garner, and you know about the other old lady that they pick up at the hospital and let her die in the back seat of the car, right? So I get where you're coming from. how do we prevent that from happening? Not be on this hamster wheel. Right? Like, I get it. You guys are a little bit behind the dystopian nightmare that Canada is, right? But here in Canada, we just had what's called the carbon tax rate by 23%. We already have huge homeless tent camps, right? Our country has turned into China. And I'm telling you, America's going the same way, right? So maybe you think you have time. I don't think you do.
No, and here's the thing, Tenth. I agree with you, buddy. But here's the thing. I think we're past that point, right? There's a time within that curve when you can correct it, right? And I think we're way past that point in that curve. I know we are financially. Okay, I know that if we were to stop borrowing money today, we would still never pay back the debt. We would never have enough money to pay back the debt, especially if interest rates, rose up, which they would most assuredly do, because it's those guys that are controlling the financial system anyway. But I don't think there's any stopping what is already there and what's already coming, right? Because as we know, it's about what people believe, right? And that's what drives people. And the government has been forcing these beliefs on people and all the countries through these public school systems to accept authority. Now, you can test this yourself, right? Because every year there's a national debate, right? Every year there's a national debate, and every year they have a national debate question, right? And these kids, college kids or whatever, they debate over this question, this national debate question. They have a national debate about it. And you can look every year for the last 100 years and see how the debate question has gone from personal responsibility to what can the government do for us in this
Collectivity.
Right. And right before your very eyes. You only have to look at 100 questions and it becomes more and more and more transparent to you the closer you get to today, right? So in 1900, the debate question wasn't about government at all, what government could do for you, what kind of programs, how could government stop this, how could government help this, right? It didn't have nothing to do with anything of that nature. But now, today, in the last 20 years, you won't find a question that doesn't have to do with how is the government going to come in and wipe my ass? How is the government going to feed me? How is the government going to do this? How is the government going to do that? Should the government be involved in giving away, food? Listen, a lot of people are fooled by, and I just taught my daughters this the other day. I told my daughters, I said, everybody knows that America, the breadbasket, whatever, we give out food to third world countries, right? Everybody's like, oh man, this is such a great deal. America, they're so kind and giving, they're, giving away all this wheat to Ecuador or wherever. And I told my kids, I says, what you don't see and what you don't understand is that we go into one of these third world countries and we dump all this free food into their market, right? So no one has to buy any food. So what happens then is that the local farmers can't get any money for their crops. So they stop growing food, right? Because they can't get no money for it. They're losing money by growing all these crops. So they stop growing food. And then America ups the price of the food that they're bringing in, and you ain't got nowhere else to go because your local farmers have already quit farming because they couldn't make any money. So then we go, well, you know what? You guys don't have a lot of money. Here's this food. You owe us $1 billion. We're just going to take your natural resources, right? We're going to take your coal mines and your diamond mines and your oil fields and all this other shit. And this has been going on for years and years and years. And
you're only wrong about one part of that.
What's that?
Those are all NGOs that are doing that.
The non-government organizations?
They're the most destructive. Yeah, I would agree. Can I just So it's interesting because what Auditing Erie County is saying is we must remain professional. And what 10th is saying is we done that, we tried that. Look at the truckers. You could not have asked for a more decent crowd to be professional, to ask for respect. And the way they got trampled by horses when they brought a bunch of UN people and put them in Mountie outfits and let them get on horses and beat the shit
Precisely.
out of the. So what we're at right now is I agree with Auditing Erie County. We have no choice but to stay within the laws because those that have badges and guns seem to have a monopoly on violence to get away with it. But there's going to reach, it's going to come to loggerheads. And when it does, then it's going to become a total war. What we don't realize as a population, whether it be Canada or America, especially Canada is more accelerated, is that the government has already declared war on us and they haven't told us. They're just acting on it in a very subtle way. Thoughts on that?
At one time, the Great Replacement theory was considered a conspiracy theory.
Right. And I agree. Listen, I wholeheartedly agree with the fact that, again, peaceful protest is not going to change anything. But I also agree that, Ruby Ridge didn't change anything either. The Freeman in Montana didn't change anything either. You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to happen now if you try to buck the system is you're going to get shot up. The majority of people are going to be cheering that you met your demise, and they're going to call you a traitor, or going to call you, a sovereign citizen, or, some kind of paramilitary guy, Unabomber dude, or whatever. You can't be trusted.
Or like Samuel Adams, you're going to be called a terrorist, even though you were a freedom fighter.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I think we're way past that point. I think, like I've said numerous times, I've been a prepper for years and years. I know the system is going to collapse. I know there's a new world order waiting right around the corner. There's a one world currency waiting right around the corner. And, the only way that is going to be disrupted is when the collapse happens. The government's going to disappear for a while, go into their bunkers with, some of their troops that they're paying. And, 6 to 8 months later, after the majority of the population has died out, because now there's no way to get food, water, or medicine if you don't have truck drivers and, shipping containers. Nobody has a backstock of any food. You know what I mean? 99% of Americans barely have 2 weeks worth of food left in the house. Within 2 months, most Americans are going to be dead, right? From the medical problems, with the insulin and the obesity and the heart issues and cancer and not being, you know what I mean? Once electricity goes down, trucks go down, you've got about 2 months and most Americans will be dead. The rest of the Americans will be formed up, grouped up in gangs of some nature, some good, some bad, and they're going to be out there pillaging, people and rolling through the countryside like literally The Walking Dead. When people talk about the zombie apocalypse, I don't think about dead people. I think about roving bands of miscreants.
Yep.
Like take Chicago, for example, the Gangster Disciples, 17,000 members strong. Okay. When society crumbles, Chicago will be ran by these guys, right? And they're going to come and they're going to take whatever they want. God forbid you live in the Chicagoland area. You know what I mean? And you don't have a compound with, a couple hundred guys on there, because literally they're just going to roll right over you. They've got the guns. They've got the organization already. You know what I mean? What do you think the local town police department's going to keep them at bay? I mean, this is going to result in serious shit. But the only time that freedom will be attainable is, when the government pops back up to reclaim the land, you know what I mean? And they're going to have a story for you, right? They're going to say, oh, we don't know why this happened, but we're gonna fix this because, you know, we looked at it all wrong, and we're not American or Chinese or Russian. We're humans, so we're all gonna get together and we're gonna form a big federation, and everybody's gonna be equal, and yada yada. And then there's gonna be two kinds of people that are left on the planet at that moment. And the first type of people are going to be people that just got so goddamn lucky that they made it through this shit. I don't know how, you know, whether it be with gangs or just hiding out or however they got through it, but they weren't prepared at the beginning, and they somehow squeaked it out and made it to the end. And they're going to be so tired of the raping and the murdering and all the, you know, eating bugs and all this other stuff that, you know, when the government pops back out, they're going to be licking their ass. So, you know, you ain't seen bootlickers like these before. You know, I'm straight up telling you, these guys are going to be licking the boot in every other part of the government, right? And they're going to be so happy the government's here to take care of them. And, you know, whatever you need, you know, we'll give you whatever you want, right? And then you're going to have men like me who've prepared and realize this is the opportune time. This is the only time freedom can rear its head. We take it now or we lose it forever, right? Because anything before is premature, right? You're nutting in your pants anytime before that, right? That's the bottom line. Because, again, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be gunned down, you're going to be made fun of on MSNBC and Fox News, and the American people are going to eat it up because you were a terrorist, right? That's it.
This is all coming sooner than we think. It's all coming sooner than we
I don't know if you guys are aware, but sometime within the last 24 hours, after the Russian terror attack, which a lot of people say was probably set up by American interests, that now Russia has begun deporting any and all illegal immigrants, and I guarantee you a lot of them are not illegal immigrants. They're just doing what Trump did, and anybody who's Muslim, because it was supposedly an ISIS attack, is being deported. All of them. Mass deportation, tens of thousands already are in the process. The airports are full of people being sent out. My question is, how many of those people are just going to be flown directly to Canada and the US?
So here's something I find interesting, and I think I showed this to Rogue when I did an interview with him. And for those, and this is what Six Oaks was saying. So he said basically in 24 there's going to be a civil war. So the A24 is the name of this this company that puts out this stuff. So America 2024 Civil War. So there's the predictive programming. Is it okay if I play this, Rogue? Hello? Oops.
Yeah, go ahead. I was muted. Sorry.
That's okay.
19 states have seceded. The United States Army ramps up activity. The White House issued warnings to the Western forces.
Oh no, you're going to get struck for this. This is the ad for that movie. No. Take it off. Yeah, you're not going to get away with that. That's that new movie that came out on Netflix. You won't get away with that.
No, this isn't
playing that.
Bro. This is Civil War. I played this multiple times on my lives.
All right.
Yeah, he's played it before.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one on Netflix is you will get struck for that one. It's the world. What is it? The world. Leave the world behind. You will get freaking struck on that one.
With Sandra Bullock or whatever.
No.
Okay, this is the other one. Okay, go ahead. Is this movie not put out by? Is it put out by Angel Studios or who is it put out by?
No, it says Alpha 24. I don't know what that.
Oh, okay.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out with what we see on the news. Seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? We're moving to D.C. today.
You need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Flooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? We're American, okay?
I love this line.
What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Move, move, move!
We're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Yeah, man. It could possibly look, something similar to that, but who knows what the future holds 100% for sure.
I say we got 3 weeks.
I hope it's a little bit longer than that, but
No, I think that's an invasion force that they're going to allow right into North America from Russia, along with the other that they now have found the actual numbers, that the 10 million was only up until 2018, and that there's been 10 to 20 more million, and that's just in America. And so there's approximately 50 to 70 million people that have come to North America since like 2015 probably. And now here comes a few more tens of thousands. What do you think happened next?
Yeah, they've already said very clearly, for instance, white recruitment in the United States military is down by 50%. Just white, recruitment alone, and we're 60% of the population. They've said that there's definitely a desperation for more military personnel. And then all of a sudden they have this big influx of military-aged males that come in. Now they're going to train them with my equipment, put them in my uniform, giving them my technology, and send them against us.
And then, as that TikTok video said, they're going to come and take your house. Now, supposedly they've deported that guy now, but if you think that he wasn't speaking for a lot of people and he was just one person, okay, all right, keep dreaming.
Yeah, I've been saying that about they're going to take our houses for months now, and I don't understand where that came from in my mind. I don't understand why I thought that, and now I'm seeing it being perpetrated. And the thing is that if you try to defend your house, if you try to defend people on a subway, they throw you in jail like Daniel Penny. If you're just punching random women in the face in New York City, they can't seem to find you. If you're an illegal immigrant who just got in a tussle with the cops and were kicking them in the head, they're releasing you and you're flipping the bird, and then you disappear by stealing someone else's ID. They don't really care to find you. But if you're trying to defend your home against illegal immigrants, that they're asking you to invite them into your homes in some states like Massachusetts and New York, where there are going to be some people that are good-hearted people, that are genuinely good-hearted people, that are going to open up their homes, and then the okay is going to be gone to just crack them on the head, bury them in their own backyard. Congratulations, you have a new farm. Congratulations, you have a new single-family home. And if you try to resist that, just like the squatters' rights, they're going to put your ass in jail, in the re-education camp, in the gulag. So anyway, it's crazy, guys.
It's happening right in front of our eyes.
And if I say it, people say I'm freaking insane, and I'm.
We are the World War III people that get burned.
I'm predicting this. People that love their country, whether it be a nationalist in Canada that loves the nation of Canada, or a nationalist in America that loves that American flag, I don't care what color your skin is, you will be in 20 to 25 years, you will be the new N words that begins with an N,
Yep.
ends in an I. We're going to be the new history is going to write us. People that love their country, that fought for their country, that fought against fascism in World War II, are going to be labeled the new ones. Mark my words.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're not sure on what the future holds, but it definitely doesn't hold anything that resembles what we grew up knowing and loving. And it could go a lot of different ways. Six Oaks had a comment about 5th generation warfare. I'm thinking it's going to be more like bioterrorism or economic collapse that's going to, come in and wipe people out, because it's not specific people that they're going to wipe out, right? If you guys have heard of eugenics and you guys know about Bill Gates and Ted Turner, there's an actual limit to how many people should be on Earth in order to sustain it, right?
6 million.
500 million. It's 500 million on the Guildstones. It's 500 million. Yeah, 500 million that Ted Turner said on TV. Everybody thinks it's about 500 million is what the maximum limit, not the ideal limit, but the maximum limit.
I heard 6, that they want there to just be 6 million.
And that's possible. I mean, but definitely it's a lot more than, or a lot less than the 6-7 billion that we have on the planet now. So you have to start thinking, how are they going to get this number of people, unalived without, nuking their own infrastructure, their own planet, you know what I mean? Because they want everything intact, right? Because otherwise, what's the use? I'm not going to hop out of the ground after a nuclear war so I can roll over a pile of radioactive dirt, right? So bioterrorism and economic collapse will, an economic collapse will assure 60 to 70% of the world population dead within a year, and that's no joke.
I'm gonna hop out, Rogue. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna listen though, and I'm gonna lay down because my neck's really bothering me big time. But I'm so overjoyed that I got an opportunity to say hi to everyone and get some information. Also, TAC, which is the American Canadian, I believe. I don't know if you know TAC.
Yep.
Or if you've seen him around. He sent me an interesting article about something about the New York National Guard is activating its NBC, as nuclear, biological, and chemical units, because they're, for the April 8th eclipse thing, they're expecting some kind of situation that might be nuclear.
And also ISIS just declared that they are going to be attacking multiple places across North America and Western culture.
So it's all predictive programming. I don't believe in coincidences. I think our own government's going to be complicit in this. I think everything's going to go dark. There's going to be massive amounts of confusion. I think when everything turns back on, I think it's going to be what Rogue basically said. But I think it's going to be a pretty quick transition. I think people are going to go dark within a couple of weeks. Once they flip the lights on, you're going to get messages on your TV saying, "Dear leader is now in control. If you piss us off, you're in the gulag." So just keep your powder dry, folks. And I'm going to listen. I'm not going to listen offline because I'm going to be online. But I appreciate it, man. I want to make room for other people. And thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I'm actually going to shut it down. It's been almost 2 hours. We've been live.
Yeah, bro. We were only going to go an hour. There's one thing. Like, I'm really cheap, right? Like, I'm so cheap I might as well be free. But tomorrow I'm buying a couple things, like a burner that can run off of a propane tank. Like, I'm actually going into, okay, it's time now, right now. Right? I've been preparing for this for 20 years, and now I have to go get the last few things I've been putting off because we have to, like, right now. I'm not even trying to be dramatic. So,
well, yeah,
just
I mean, there's, here's the thing. There's no sense in trying to put a time limit on it, because if you do, when that time limit passes, you become less credible to people, right?
That's all right.
So I'll let you up here for a minute, brother, but we're getting ready to wrap it up. What you got? Toe, are you there? Toe, good buddy. What's going on? 10-4. Give me a 10-4, good
man?
buddy. There you go. I just wanted to make sure you was there. All right, but yeah. I like I said, with a time limit, you know, because I've seen people put time limits on it again and again and again, and myself even. You know, I told my wife years ago, oh, the economy's going to collapse. I don't see how they could keep it running, but they do keep it running, right? The smoke in the mirrors, dude, is still foggy. You know, people are still getting fogged out by it. You know, you thought, oh, with the housing collapse, people would wake up, or, you know, with this, you know, you think people would wake up, or with COVID, you know, you think people would wake up. But, yeah, for public safety, that doesn't work, my man. We'll be deep in the woods.
Yeah, Rogue, we're all coming to your house, man.
I actually left Indiana because we lived around some of my wife's family, and I told her, I said, you know, I don't want to be rude. I said, but you know, who's going to shoot your cousins when they come by? You know what I mean? Because they all knew me as George, the crazy guy that, you know, stored food, or, you know, whatever, la la la. And you know, oh, we'll come over to your place. Oh yeah, let me just feed you and not my kids because you failed to prepare. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
All right, I heard it.
That's
I heard it.
why I don't have any friends. I don't know anybody. I'm a very private person.
I heard it. Rogues got all the food. Everybody piling rogues. That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm going to say goodnight. It's good to see you, AEC, and Toe for Life, and thanks again, Rogue, for having me up here as usual. And you guys all have a blessed night, and hopefully we can see each other again in a couple of weeks. And time has passed, and and we're still here. So. With that, I'm going to drop off.
Oh, hopefully, but he's right. You know, stuff like this could go down at a moment's notice. We could wake up tomorrow morning to find out that the, you know, country's on another quarantine, and there's a vicious bug that's, you know, going through the country. Like I said, when that stuff first started out in 2020, I was thinking 50 to 75% death rate. You know, and then when they came back, yeah, and then they came back and said, oh, it's a, you know, 1%. I was like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? This isn't enough for me to even turn my head.
87% of the people who did die of that 1% were over 80 years old and were already going to die anyway within the next couple of years.
Right. Yep. All right,
Just
guys.
saying.
Yep. Thanks for coming up. Ted, thanks for being here. Toe, thanks for being here, buddy. Did you have something you wanted to say, buddy? I mean, you came up on the panel. I want to give you a chance to say something if you had
didn't
something
read
to
the
say.
private chat, did you?
No, I never do. Okay, it says you will talk after live. What's up? What do you got something for us?
No, nothing for the live stream audience.
Oh,
He's
okay.
he's like me. He wants to shut it down, Rogue.
All right. Well, we're shutting down, folks.
Talk backstage, bro.
I hear you, brother. All right, yeah, we'll shut it down, guys, and we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for hanging out, as always, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hit that thumbs up on the way out.